Cute. 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 Cute.
Hey cuties, my name's Angie and welcome to my channel, Oh That's Cute. Today I'm going to be telling you all about how I set up for a new semester, and I'm going to show you how I organize my info, emails, assignments, and lecture notes, etc. in both my bullet journal and my computer. So let's get into the video. So in my bullet journal, I've set up a 2-page spread for my uni stuff this semester. It's kind of like an overview of the most important things that I need to know and keep track of. So first of all, obviously the most basic thing is to know where your when and where your classes are. So here in my bullet journal, I've drawn out a very simple class schedule, and you might want to adjust it a bit depending on when your first class starts and when your last class finishes. For me, I start at around 11, and then I finish at 7:30. And you can see I'm gonna have a hell of a time on Thursdays when face-to-face teaching starts again, because this is a lab class. So I've colored in the boxes with colors that correspond to each class, so you can see same course code, same color. So on the rest of the spread, I've put in mini calendars from September to December, which is when semester 1 starts and ends. And there's some space on the side to write down any important projects, assignments, and tests that I need to keep track of. For example, my first big assignment for French is due on October 19th. So here I've had a little pink circle, pink corresponding to French, and on it I've written 19, which is when it's due, and then I just write down the details. So assignment 1. So now I know assignment 1 for French 301 is due on October 19th. And if you're wondering why the colors on this page don't really seem to match, like pink and blue and purple and brown and all that, that's because these colors are going to be the 2 main colors of each month's theme that I'm going to do for monthly spreads. So I'm just going to quickly show you a peek of what I've done for September. So there's pink and blue and kind of like a cherry blossom kind of decoration. It actually kind of looks like Yuzuri Hanyu's costume for Hana ni Nare. And yeah, so that's why I have different colors. And then October is obviously going to be something kind of Halloween-y, you can see with the orange and green. So yeah, subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to see what I do with these colors for each month's theme. Full disclosure, this idea is 100% borrowed from the amazing and beautiful Amanda Rach Lee. It's from one of her old bullet journaling videos for students, which is super useful, so I'm going to link it down there in case you guys want to check it out. She does the most beautiful spreads and has a lot of cool ideas, so I definitely look to her for inspiration, and her videos are really, really relaxing to watch, so definitely recommend you guys to check it out. I've also set up a page for each course where I can keep track of any smaller assignments, weekly tasks, and readings that I need to do, as well as keeping up with my note-taking and studying. So I still include the big things that I need to hand in that were in my semester overview. Like for example, you can see here the assignment 1, assignment 2 that I showed you. But just this includes all the smaller tasks that I need to keep on top of for each subject. I've set up this sort of schedule / calendar for the studying and assignments that I need to do on a day-to-day basis. And this is going to be useful for knowing how much time I need to spend every day on each subject and making sure that I'm being effective with my studying. And this is also the stuff that I'm going to be copying into my weekly spreads. So for example, on the 6th, which is today, I need to study chapter 1.1 for French. So I'm going to put that into today's task list. But yeah, it's just helpful to see everything I need for one course on one spread. For my other courses, there's not as much detail, there's not as many assignments, so they're just 1-page spreads with the schedule. Here's a little bit special. I have yellow and green. So yellow is for labs because this is a biochem course. Yellow is for labs and green is for lectures. If you're wondering why it's doubled up, it's because this is for before class, this is after class. So yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to show you is for my French courses, I have presentations. So I have a presentation tracker. So I need to do my research, outline, PowerPoint, write a script, and record. And then I also just did a fun little percentage tracker for my compositions for French. So once I've done each 10% of the word count, I'm gonna just color that in or cross it out. So now we're done with looking at my bullet journal. We're going to move on to my digital organization. So what you're gonna see might seem kind of extra, but I promise you it's kind of useful. At least it's helpful for me. So first of all, something that I like to do, which might seem kind of unnecessary, is renaming files when I download them. So usually it's kind of some weird random file name. Like you can see, it's just like slide 1.1. I have no idea what that is. So I usually rename it to having the course code at the front and then the title of the lecture or the PowerPoint, which is this. And then I save it to the respective folder that it belongs to. For example, here I have all of my French lecture PowerPoints. The original names were just stuff like 1.1, 1.2, and I've edited it so that at a glance I know what the topic of each lecture is. Something else I like to do is to have a lot of folders and subfolders. So you can see here on the sidebar I have the folders for each course for easy access. Oh, actually these are all part of my big Hong Kong U folder, and then within each folder I have more subfolders. So again, using French for an example, I have information which includes all the syllabus and schedule and all that. And then lectures, which is pretty self-explanatory, and I showed it to you guys just now. And these two folders will be for the things I need for weekly practice group and my final presentation. Right now it only has the guidelines for these two things, nothing fancy. And then the last one is just textbooks, which is, yeah, again, self-explanatory. Lastly, I'm going to show you guys quickly how I set up my email for school. Hope you guys appreciate the beautiful Timothée Chalamet wallpaper. This is the Gmail account that my school has provided, so we get a lot of junk mail that's like promotions and invitations to societies and stuff. You can see in the trash, it's super cluttered, tons of stuff. You can actually unsubscribe, but I like to scan through them in case there's anything that catches my interest. But generally, I just delete everything that's irrelevant so I can keep my inbox clean and tidy. You can see hardly any emails in here. Obviously, emails can contain a lot of important information, like details about your assessments, deadlines, and all that. So I think it's really necessary to make sure your email isn't cluttered so you can quickly find what you need. And on that note, on the side here, I have some labels to categorize my emails. Each course has its own label with different colors. You might recognize them as the same as the ones in my bullet journal. So it's not really necessary, but I just like having it super cohesive, having it all tied together. Then for this red label, important information, there's subcategories for exchange, internships, library stuff, things from past courses that I might still find useful, scholarships, and university fees. All these titles are pretty clear and self-explanatory, so yeah, I won't go into that. But that's it for my email. And yeah, that's basically how I set up for a new semester. I hope there's some stuff in there that you might find helpful, and I hope that you'll adapt it to make it more useful for you. Let me know in the comments which method you're going to try out, and also feel free to leave some tips and advice because I'd love to know what you guys use. I wish you guys a wonderful, fruitful semester despite the circumstances. Stay happy, stay productive, and take care. Bye, cuties! Ooh, do you see that golden hour glow?